Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. I have some intriguing news coming out of the NFL, and it's specifically shaking up the NFC North. You see, just after a big bounce-back victory against the Dallas Cowboys, the Chicago Bears are not just feeling good. They're making moves that could have serious long-term implications for their roster and their playoff ambitions. And one of those moves might just surprise a lot of fans, especially because it involves a trade rumor that could reshape their backfield for the rest of the season. It all started with the Bears' recent win, which was crucial for their confidence after a rough patch earlier in the season. That victory showed the resilience of this team, their fighting spirit, but also highlighted some areas where they need reinforcement. One glaring issue has been the running game. DeAndre Swift, despite being a talented player, has not been able to produce at the level the Bears need. Through 3 games, he's carried the ball 42 times, but his numbers have been underwhelming, averaging just 3.5 yards per carry. And if you look at his stats more closely, in 2 out of 3 games, his YPC has dipped below 3.2. That's not what you expect from a player with his talent, especially considering last year he averaged 3.8 yards per carry, which wasn't stellar either but showed some promise. It's clear the Bears need a boost in that position, someone who can bring more consistency and explosive plays to their rushing attack. This brings us to the potential trade chatter that has been buzzing around NFL circles. The name that's been thrown around a lot lately, Kenneth Walker, the Seahawks' talented running back. Now, Walker has had his struggles this season, but he still averages 4.2 yards per carry, which is significantly better than Swift's numbers so far. And that's a big deal. You see, Walker's style is different. He brings a more consistent punch on the ground, something that could really help the Bears' offense find its rhythm. Plus, despite some struggles, Walker has shown flashes of brilliance. His ability to break off those tough yards and create opportunities when the offense needs it most makes him an intriguing option, especially for a team like Chicago that's desperately seeking stability at the running back position. But of course, the big question is, what would a trade for Kenneth Walker look like? Well, let's do a quick hypothetical. The Seahawks, as we all know, are in a bit of a tricky spot. Walker's contract is set to expire after the season, and with Zach Charbonnet stepping into a more prominent role, it seems like Seattle might be ready to move on from Walker to clear some cap space and give more carries to their young talent. So a trade could make sense for both sides. Imagine the Bears offering a 3rd-round pick, something manageable for a player of Walker's potential and current production. This isn't about replacing Swift entirely, it's about complementing him, creating a duo that can keep defenses guessing and keep the Bears' rushing attack fresh and explosive. And here's an important point. Walker isn't a pass-catching back, at least not yet, and Swift has been more involved in the passing game, with 42 catches for 386 yards so far this season. So, the two could actually work very well together, giving the Bears a versatile backfield that can adapt to different game situations. Walker's power and speed, combined with Swift's agility and receiving skills, could create a tandem that defenses would struggle to contain. This kind of dual threat would also open up more options for Caleb Williams, the young quarterback Chicago is trying to develop into a franchise player. Having a strong, reliable running game can do wonders for a young passer's confidence and efficiency. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture here. The Bears are in a tough division, no doubt about it. The NFC North is filled with strong teams, Vikings, Lions, Packers, and competing with such powerhouses requires not just talent but strategic moves. The Bears' defense has shown flashes of greatness, but it's not quite consistent enough yet. Their recent performances have left fans a bit worried, especially considering that their defense hasn't looked as dominant as it did in previous seasons. They need to bolster that side of the ball, but offensively, they also need to keep pace, and that's where a trade for Walker could be a game changer. As of now, FanDuel odds give the Bears roughly plus 490 to make the playoffs. That's not overly encouraging, especially considering how competitive the NFC is. But if Chicago manages to pull off a move like acquiring Walker, it would send a strong signal that they're serious about contending, even this season. It would give the offense a much-needed boost and also send a message to their division rivals that the Bears are not backing down. A more potent rushing attack can help control the clock, keep the defense fresh, and improve the overall team morale. And let's not forget about Walker's season stats. He's played 4 games, rushing 58 times for 244 yards and 3 touchdowns. Not elite numbers, but solid enough, especially considering he's been dealing with some inconsistent blocking and offensive line issues. His 4.2 yards per carry show that he still has that burst and capability to break big runs. If he can stay healthy and find a bit more consistency, he could become a key piece for the Bears' offense, especially in the second half of the season when every game becomes even more critical. Now, I want to emphasize that this is just a mock trade scenario. There's no official confirmation that the Seahawks are trading Kenneth Walker to Chicago, but it's a hypothesis worth considering. The NFL is all about strategic moves, and with Walker's contract situation and Seattle's depth at running back, it's not out of the realm of possibility. For the Bears, adding Walker wouldn't mean replacing Swift completely, but rather creating a more dynamic backfield that can adapt to different game plans. It's about building depth, competition, and explosiveness in a position that's been a bit of a black hole for Chicago in recent years. As fans, we all know how important the running game is in the NFL. It's the backbone of many successful teams, and the Bears have been searching for that reliable, game-changing back for what feels like ages. If Walker joins this roster, and if he can stay healthy and motivated, he could be the missing piece that helps Chicago turn the page and push for a playoff run. Remember, this isn't just about this season. It's about setting a foundation for the future, building a roster that can compete at the highest level consistently. And of course, the fan base's excitement is palpable. Chicago fans are craving a winning team, a team that can challenge the NFC powerhouses and make some noise in the postseason. A move like this, adding a player like Kenneth Walker, could be just what the doctor ordered. It's about injecting new energy, new talent, and a new perspective into that locker room. The Bears are at a crossroads, and strategic moves like this could set them on a new trajectory, one that could see them back in the playoffs and perhaps even competing for a Super Bowl in the near future. So, what do you think? Would you be excited about adding Kenneth Walker to this Bears team? Do you believe he can be that piece that finally unlocks the rushing attack and helps the Bears reach their full potential? Or do you think they should stick with what they have and build through the draft? I want to hear your thoughts below because your opinion really matters. Remember, the NFL is always changing, and the Bears are no exception. They're always looking for ways to improve, and sometimes that means pulling the trigger on a trade that could change everything. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. This season is far from over, and with every game, every move, the story of this team continues to unfold. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, let's keep the passion alive for the Chicago Bears. Until next time.